Hey everybody, it's Tim, High Noon's Vinyl, back again, and relatively soon after the last one, so I'm trying. Anyway, today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about, sorry, I'm going to rearrange here, this label that you're probably going to be seeing a lot of in the VC in the days to come, and that's Guerssen Records. So Guerssen Records is out of Spain, and mid-90s, I guess they got started, and they primarily focus on a lot of the psychedelic, some prog, kind of a more obscure, harder to find, private press releases that if you went after originals, they're going to cost you an absolute ton. So they bring this music kind of back into an affordable space, and do so with, I think, some decent quality. When I first learned of them was a few years back. I started buying vinyl again on a regular, and it was through this release, which I had no hopes of ever owning an original of, and that was July. Now, I know July has been being seen around the VC again. They just had a music on vinyl press, and we know music on vinyl does digital, and that's okay. I mean, you can definitely make a quality record from digital, and I'm pretty sure Guerssen also presses from digital. There was nothing that ever indicated on any of the hype stickers that it said from the original master tapes. And I would imagine these master tapes are probably nowhere to be had on a regular basis. But that said, you can see that tip-on style of jacket, decent cardboard. And what they also give you is a nice little booklet with pictures about the band. And what was even cool with this one is it came with the replica of the original promo poster for when this was released. Now, obviously, this was released on Epic in the US and Major Minor in the UK. They do not replicate the labels. So anytime that they do a label, it's on their namesake Guerssen, which I'm okay with. I mean, I know MoFi replicated the Major Minor label for this release, and that doesn't necessarily bother me. But I was always intrigued, and I may go back, who knows, I may go back and pick up a music on vinyl. Does this sound audiophile? No, I'm not even going to try to pretend it. But I think it sounds strong enough to where you can make an argument that for under $30, this album's worth owning. So just to give you a soundbite, in case you're not familiar with these guys, I'm going to give you a little taste of July from the actual album that I own from the Guerssen Records press. So here you go.
I tell the time for you, 12 o'clock on noon.
Next up is an album I picked up from Forced Exposure, excuse me, a little bit of a brain fart, and that was An Apple a Day from Apple. Now, these guys are pop psych, kind of mod, but definitely it's got a unique groove and feel to it. And again, it's done with that very You can see this one's in the shrink, but you can still see it's got that tip on, you know, the fold over style of jacket. And cardboard's even getting a little bit thicker now. And this one was done, I want to say, in 2019 or 2018. The July was from 2012. And what's really, now with this one, you don't get a book. You do get this nice write-up on Apple. And you know, kind of goes through the history of the band and stuff like that. But the original insert that came with this album was partly due to from the photo. The photo itself was credited to the Apple and Pear Development Council. So the original insert was this English apples and pears that talked about different apples and pears, the sweetnesses of them, gave you a nice little chart, and even some recipes. So that was just an amusing, fun little thing that came with it. But and again, I think by this point, you know, they were starting to be a more established label. Again, like we discussed, you know, it's on their proprietary label, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. And you know, the nice thing about these, and then the last one I'll show, 180 gram vinyl. They all come in a polyline sleeve. And I got these two from U.S. soils. And the first one actually ordered off of Amazon. You know, shipped well, packaged well, so no issues. The thick jackets, I think, held up very well to shipping, which was nice. And they try to be as faithful as they can on the jacket, which is just a nice little nod to what they're trying to do over at Guerssen. But again, it's all down to the music. So I've given you a couple tastes off of this one. A couple of them were from singles that they did. Let's Take a Trip Down the Rhine and Dr. Rock. And I think the last one I did was Rock Me Baby, but I'll put it in there as I usually do. So let's check out Apple, and then their album An Apple a Day.
Look at the castles that tower in the sky. The Rhine Express goes. Dr. Rock is a rockin' dog. Dr. Rock is a rockin' dog. Dr. Rock is a rockin' doctor.
And then lastly, my most recent pickup from Guerssen Records. I actually learned about it. I cannot remember who posted something on Facebook about Dylan at Noble Records getting this, and that was Farm from Illinois. So Dylan got a run of 300 yellow, exclusive, only available through Noble Records, and I missed it. Like, they sold out in an hour, and I was like, "Are you serious?" And I was able to get the Randy Holden from him, which was also on, I believe, Yellow Wax. So I was like, man, it would have really been cool to have both. But I went to Guerssen's website. They were still doing pre-orders on the black vinyl, which I was able to get. They actually had a brown and white splatter that was already sold out on their website. So I ordered this. I shared the information with a few of my friends who would be interested. I believe some of them got it. So you were able to get this from Guerssen directly from Spain, and that's what I want to kind of preface this with. So I got this in this past week, shipped to me within, I want to say, about a week from Spain. So it was really fast. Nothing wrong. No seam splits. The cardboard is even thicker this time. I mean, it's a monster here. They've now done this OB as opposed to a hype sticker, which is fine. It's on there pretty tight, so I've left it on and just didn't mess with it. Again, in kind of Guerssen style, they've got more detail about the recording, about the album, the importance of the album, a little bit of interview. So there's just more bang for your buck. And I want to say this was 30 shipped to the US out the door, roughly. Again, on that Guerssen label, but didn't get the fun color. But that's okay. I mean, you know, having this piece of Illinois history is incredible enough. So if you're familiar with this one, this is another one that just goes for stupid money. This one, well, first listen, I was getting a vibe from maybe a little ELP because of the keyboards, and then you get a little bit of the Wishbone Ash feel with some of the jamming. Side one is literally 2 songs, 15 plus minutes, and once they hit a groove, they just do not get out of it. Side 2 is a little bit shorter. Songs are a little bit shorter, but man, this is very groove driven. I know some people have missed this. If you missed it through Dylan, if you missed it through Guerssen's website, Forced Exposure, which I mentioned before, says that theirs comes out on the 12th. So you may want to run over to Forced Exposure to go check this out to see if they have any left. Guerssen has also commented on their website that they are looking to do another run of this in November. So I would suggest that if you did miss it and you can't get it from Forced Exposure, follow them on social media, check them out. That said, in case you aren't familiar, let me try to see if I can hook you up with the farm and give you a little bit of taste from this release. So that's what I have from Guerssen so far. Like I said, 3 releases, but I'm very, very happy with each one of these. I mean, let's face it, this is, to get an original copy of this, I mean, you're paying $1,000. That's just crazy noise. But they still have a lot that I want to try to grab. Bands like T2, the prog band, Wicked Lady, which I know a lot of people have talked about here in the VC of late, Orangutan, which I know has been done, reissued several different times, and that one's by another label that is under Guerssen. Like, they have a couple of offsets, but they also have a lot of the psych folk. They just did a reissue of a private press of Oliver. So there's a lot of different things that are out there. But following them on social media, I saw one other one that really intrigued my interest. and they are going to be doing an official. And now keep in mind, these are all official. So these are, you know, they've gone through all the proper channels. So these are not bootlegs in any way. And the next one they're doing, or at least they have a test press for, and they're checking in to see, you know, mastering how it sounds and stuff like that, is Morgan. If you've watched my channel, you know, some videos back I picked up the Morgan reissue from Now and Again Records. Sounded good, a little pricey, but was glad to have it. That said, I'm kind of curious to see what Guerssen will do with it, because I was trying to find some of their manufacturing information. Dead Wax gives no indications, and I believe it was Apple. Yeah, I think it was Apple that I was able to learn that one was pressed at GZ Media. So with that being said, I know, okay, yeah, Apple was pressed at GZ, but I know we're Now and Again presses. And I'd like to see what Guerssen's going to do with it. So if you're interested in psych, that 70s hard rock, maybe some early prog, and they even start digging in a little deeper into some of, you know, obviously they have a whole country. I mean, being in Spain, they have access to a whole country's worth of music that might not be as known to some of us in the States. So, you know, they're a good rabbit hole to check out. And let's face it, these three releases right here, if that doesn't sell you on some value, I don't know what will. So with that said, I appreciate everybody watching. You know, leave me a comment if you have anything from Guerssen, and you know, what your thoughts are, or if you're planning on picking up anything from them, given that, again, the value is just there. So thanks everybody for watching. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Peace.